excited because we're gonna do part 2 of one of the most viewed videos on my channel. Is the Descendants Cupcake video. And there were 3 questions that all of you have been asking when I saw all the comments, and there were, where is Ben? Where is the cupcake of Harry Hook and Gil Gaston? And the third one was, I think Mal's cupcake looks more like your mom Maleficent than Mal. So I took notes of everything that you told me, and I decided to make today a video of Ben, Harry Hook, and Gil and Lonnie's cupcake, and we're gonna redo Mal's cupcake. And I know you will love it. So, vamos a hacerlo. Hey guys, today we're gonna continue our Descendants character Cupcakes, but this time we're gonna skip the baking part and we're gonna do only decorations. If you wanna see this part in detail, just click the eye so you can see the previous video where I do the recipe. Now let's get started with the decorations. The first ones we're gonna do are some candy note decorations. I did this template with 3 logos with Mal, Ben, and Gil Gaston's. I'm gonna leave it on the description box for you guys so you can print it out. Then we're gonna put it on top of a cookie sheet, and then we're gonna put parchment paper on top. That way we can trace it. We're gonna put it with a little bit of tape, that way it doesn't move all around, and then we can start. Just in case you didn't know, candy melts are a super usable material. They're usually used to cover cake pops, but they're great to make decorations. I'm gonna leave more information about them in the description box below. Now the first melt candy melts we need is the black candy melts. We're gonna melt them in the microwave, and then I'm gonna show you how to do a cone. That way you can pipe, and it's super easy in that way. If you don't have piping mess, you don't need to worry about it. I made a triangle out of parchment paper, and then I'm gonna unite the 2 corners of our triangle to the middle corner of our triangle this way. That way it makes like a cone, and you can use it to pipe. Then when you do the cone, you're gonna twist it a little bit until your end is really pointy, and then you're gonna fold it twice to hold them there. That way they don't open when you fill them up. It's super cool and it's super great, especially if you're using really small quantities like the ones we're using here to make the logos. Then we're gonna fold them up, and then we're gonna fold it once again. That way our candy melts doesn't come pouring out of our little cone. And then we're gonna cut a little piece on the bottom to make our candy melts come out, but just a little bit. That way you have more control of how many candy melts comes out. Then you can start tracing your logos. Then you can start tracing Ben's logo. Then you can start tracing the black side of Mal's logo. When you're finished with your candy melts, you're gonna put it aside for a while we melt the other colors. We're gonna use some purple and some yellow candy melts as well to finish Ben's and Mal's logos. The first one we're gonna use is the yellow candy melts, and we're gonna put it in a cone as well, and we're gonna fill Ben's logo. It's super easy. You just need to cover the whole thing. You don't need to worry about the lines, because this logo, we're gonna flip it when it's dry. We're gonna flip it, and we're gonna use the other side, the side that is glued to our parchment paper. So you need to worry about the lines. So you're gonna cover it completely, and then we're gonna take some purple candy melts and do the purple part of the mouse heart. When we finish with the logos, we're gonna put them in the fridge so they get hard. While they're getting hard, we can do other decorations, but this time on fondant, and we're gonna start with Gil Gaston's cupcake. For him, I'm using an orange cupcake with a red liner, and I'm gonna do a sword, a pirate sword, and it's super easy. We're gonna roll some gray fondant, then we're gonna make some two straight lines, but at the end we're gonna do a curve so it looks more like a pirate sword. Then we're gonna leave it aside and we're gonna start doing the handle. For the handle, I just roll some black fondant and make a straight line as well to cut the top part, but I just did a cut in angle in each side, and then at the end I just made a straight roll and I put the handle. I made some lines to make more out of a little effect to it, and then you can glue it all with some water and it's ready. Now for Harry Hook's cupcake, I'm using a red liner and a red cupcake, and for him, of course, I'm doing the hook and I'm doing a feather. I'm doing a feather because he has a small feather on his head, and I think that symbolizes his father because in the movie he has a big white feather, so I just wanted to add that in. For the hook, I just took up some gray fondant and I make like a half sphere shape. Then I took more gray fondant and I made a really thin roll, and then I make like a question mark shape, and then I let it dry for a few minutes, and then when it's dry I just glue it with a little bit of water and it's done. Then you can color it with some silver luster dust to make more of a metallic effect to it, but it looks super cool. Then for the feather, I just rolled some white fondant and I made it in a leaf shape, and then with the part that doesn't cut of your X-Acto knife or a knife, whatever you're using, I'm gonna make some marks to make it look more like a feather. Then I made a little bit of movement to it to make it look more realistic, and I just let it dry and it's done. Now for Lonnie's cupcake, I couldn't decide which color to use, so I made a blue liner with a teal cupcake, and I'm gonna tell you why. On this movie, she's the super master of martial arts, and she's always using the Aradon prep uniform, but in the last movie she was super princessy and she had a pink and teal color dress, so I combined both to make her cupcake. The first thing we're gonna do a sword to represent her love for martial arts, but this one is gonna be completely straight, and then the base is gonna have a half sphere and the handle. Then we're gonna use some cherry blossom molds to make some cherry blossom flowers to represent her culture and as well her last movie dress. I decided to do this because it's super cute and you can combine both and it will be more colorful, but you can choose any colors that you like. For the flowers, I'm using this Wilton mold, and I'm gonna put in the description box where you can buy it, but don't worry about it if you don't have it. You can use any small flower cutter, it will be fine. Now for Ben's cupcake, I'm using a yellow cake with a blue liner, and for him, we are only gonna do one thing in fondant, and it's a purple heart. Why? Because I want to represent the love that he has for Mal on the cupcake. Now for last but certainly not least, our Mal cupcake. For her, I'm using a purple liner and a Greek cupcake, and I'm using Greek cupcake because of her eyes, you guys. A lot of people are asking me why you did it green, and it's because of that. Then everybody told me to add a spell book, and I was like, oh, of course, I totally forgot, so we're doing it for this one. For that, I just rolled some white fondant, but not too thin. Then I cut it in a square. Then I start marking all around it to make it look like a lot of pages in our book. Then we're gonna cover it with some black fondant. What we're gonna do, we're gonna roll the fondant, and then we're gonna put our little book on the top, and then we're gonna cut it as long as you need it to cover the whole thing, and as thick that is bigger or a little bit bigger than your book. Then you're gonna glue it with a little bit of water, and you're gonna let it dry for a few minutes. When it's completely dry, we can start coloring on the top with some edible gel color, and you can start writing on your book. I just wrote Mal's spell book, and then I made some corners with some gold to make it look a little bit magical, and that's it. Now to finish it up, we can do the dragon tail. Now we're finished with all the decorations. Now we can start making our cupcakes. The first one we're gonna do is Gil Gaston's cupcake, and for him we just color some yellow frosting and we put a big star tip. The number of the star tip I'm gonna leave it on the description box below for you guys. Then we can glue the sword and the bowl. And here you have it, Gil Gaston's cupcake. Now for Harry Hook's cupcake, I'm using some black frosting. Then we put his hook and his feather, and it's done. Here you have it, Harry Hook's cupcake. Now for Ben's cupcake, I just used some blue frosting. I put the little heart on the side and the logo on the middle, and it's done. Here you have the Ben cupcake. Now for Lonnie's cupcake, I did a fuchsia colored frosting. Then we put her cherry blossoms, put her sword on the top, and it looks super cute. And here you have it, Lonnie's cupcake. Now to finish up our second time of our Mal cupcake, we put some purple frosting, we put her dragon tail, then we put the book on the side, and then we finish it up with her heart on the top, and it's done. Here you have it, Mal's second time cupcake. And here you have the rest of the Descendants cupcakes that you've been asking for. Thank you for suggesting them. They were super fun to make. I hope you like them, and if you do them, please take a lot of pictures and tag me on any of my social media with the hashtag KBashStudio. I would love to see your creations. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, like always, just leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I love you so much, and I see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did and you want to be part of the KBasher squad, please click and subscribe here. Or if you want to see previous videos, you can click here. And I do one video each week, and I would love you to join me. So I see you next time. Bye-bye.